Here we go. Oh no, just got one. Let's try again. Yay, I did it. Welcome to our top toy recommendation for today, and it's Skittles. Who doesn't love Skittles? It's physical, it's exciting, a great game to encourage talking in toddlers. So when we talk about our top toy recommendation, we usually like to talk about it in a framework which we call focus. Focus is the F, is what we're actually focusing on today, and that's Skittles. O is about how your child actually interacts with the toys and what speech do they use when they're playing with the toy. That's the O for observation. We can use Skittles and toys such as Skittles to encourage communication with others, or the social skills involved in communicating. U refers to how we can build understanding skills, very important for school. And S, we focus on building speech and sentences. We can do all that with Skittles. The communication skills we can use include the ability to turn take. So Skittles, really, you've got to wait for your turn. You can't just keep knocking them down without me having a turn too. So Skittles are great for building turn-taking skills. They're also great for coping with waiting, really hard for toddlers, and also waiting for the disappointment when they miss, or I get more down than they do. So it's about building skills in coping with games, rules, and some boundaries when it comes to playing. If we look at understanding skills, we can see that we can start to use cause and effect. Now, have you heard of that before? That's the idea that children learn, if I do this, this will happen. If I roll a small ball, they don't knock down. If I roll a bigger ball, more of them knock down. We start to learn that cause and effect. And that's really what communication is all about, isn't it? I say something, I want to get an effect. I might ask for a cup of coffee, I want the effect of getting a cup of coffee. So cause and effect is a pre-learning skill necessary to encourage communication, but also, of course, early science skills as well. Turn taking is great for encouraging following directions. So you can ask them to get a particular one. Can you get the yellow Skittle? Can you stand it up? Get more Skittles? We can say put them in a line. We can say which one's missing. We can ask questions such, what ball did I use? Did I use a big ball or a small ball? We can direct questions such as how many, so we're encouraging maths direction. How many fell down? Oh, I got 2. Is that more or less than you got? So we can encouraging the understanding of early math skills through a game like Skittles. Other speech language skills we can do, and the first thing that comes to my mind is building vocabulary or understanding of words. Now, understanding of words is really the basis for learning language, understanding instructions, building spoken vocabulary, because we need to understand a word before we will say a word. How can Skittles build vocabulary? We can talk about the thing words, so that would be talking about the names of the objects. Some of these children wouldn't even know what Skittles are, so actually Skittles, bowling, bowling pin, or ball. Even for the little ones, we can use it for great teaching the ball sound, a ball word. So we can teach things. We can also teach action words. We can teach rolling, we can teach throwing. We could even do kicking, couldn't we? We could kick the Skittles down, kicking. So you can do lots of different action words associated with Skittles. Also falling, standing up, heaps of action words we could use. We can also, of course, we touched on this, we can do describing words. So we can do colours, we can teach colours and group. 2 green ones, more green ones. Let's put the green ones here. Let's put the yellow ones here. So by grouping, we can teach colours. We can teach size, so we can use different kinds of balls when we're playing Skittles. We can use little balls, we can use big bouncy balls, we can say we use smooth balls and bumpy balls. We might even use the words such as, let's use the same ball, let's both use the same ball, or let's use different balls. So we're using describing words, really important for building sentences. If we put describing words in, sentences are usually going to grow much more. The other kinds of words, of course, are pronouns or people words. We talked about how it's really good for turn taking, so we could overlay that with our speech and language. So it could be my turn, your turn, he knocked some over, she knocked some over. So we can use people words as part of the game. And of course there's social words associated with that as well. Say, thank you, can you stand mine up? Thanks, more up, thank you. So we can encourage that communication of social words. And of course the last area that we could encourage in terms of building vocabulary would be the words about where things are in place. So put it next to, we can put this one in between, we put that one in between, we can put it in a row, we can line them up, they can fold down, they can stand up. So all those position words, in between, next to, up, down, really great for skittle work. And you can do so much repetition because you build them up, you knock them down, you build them up, you knock them down. So you get that repetition that children need to learn. And that brings us to the S in focus, which is encouraging speech and language. So such things as doing a ball as we throw it down. The emphasis on the action, the word as you're actually using the object encourages the speech to be more linked and therefore they're more likely to do it. We can just use the speech sounds such as bat. For children not even using words, it's great just to get them to copy the movement, throw it, and even if they then just copy the movement, then it's really excellent because that really, the copying of gestures or movements generally comes before copying talking. So Skittles is really good. They can copy you standing them up and they always knock them down, so we can stand them up and we can copy how to pick them up and where to put them. Put it here, I put one, your turn, you do it, you put it here, so you can actually imitate or get them to copy your actions as well as then your sounds and words. Of course, all those words we just talked about, falling, standing, up, down, rolling, kicking, bowling, all those words, once they're understanding what the words mean, encouraging them to say the words, whether that's single words initially, let's roll, we're rolling, and then we can build it up, roll ball, we're rolling the ball, and then making longer sentences. I rolled the ball, adding such as ed. Past tense is great. It's falling. Oh no, it fell down. So you're going from actions happening now, falling, to the irregular past tense, which is fell down. So encouraging more mature speech, even with these, say, for the 4 and 5-year-olds that still maybe say it fell down instead of it fell down or it folded down. Skittles are great. And if you're working with an older child rather than the younger ones, which you could use big balls with, making the task even more difficult physically for those really active kids is really great. So you can make them go further away, adding more language, of course, as we're moving further away. They can throw it hard or roll it soft. They can kick. They can do tunnel ball as well. Like, you can make the activity as difficult as you want to encourage that child to enjoy the game. The last thing I'm just going to talk about with Skittles is just show you how I adapt Skittle use in my therapy sessions sometimes. They're really excellent to adapt and use them in a special way. For example, if you're trying to drill or get a child to say the same sound over and over again, sometimes what I will do is actually just grab some pictures, stick some blue tack on the back and pop them onto the Skittles. And in that way, you can then add more vocabulary. Let's see if we can knock down the frog. Or do we get a fish? Which one did we get? We can use it for the speech sounds, whether we're working on sh sound, we could put all our sh pictures on there. We can put shell and shoe and shower, and then each time we knock them down we say down, shower. We've got a little bit of a snippet of a video here from our Focus on Toddler Talk program. In that program we use lots of activities to show you how to boost speech and language, and here's a little tiny snippet of our program that's actually showing me working with a little boy to encourage speech and language development using worm. Good boy, Chloe. Worm. That was so good! We're going to stick the worm on. You say worm on. Oh, lovely talking. Ready? Let's put the worm on. He fell down. Say worm fell. Blow the word out. Worm. Worm fell. Put the wombat on. What is it? Hold it. You say wom. Blow the air. Wom. Oh, good job. On. Yeah, you say wombat on. Oh, good trying. Good boy. Wombat on. Blow the sound. Wombat. Blow. Wombat. Oh, good boy. Nice. Let's get another one. Which one next? I know we've talked a lot what we can do just with this simple skittle game. One last thing I want to mention is that there's so many different kinds of skittles. If your child's not really attending, noisy skittles are great. They make lots of noise, they bang and fall down, so it can keep their attention, and if they need that extra input, noise or changing the size of them, you can even just stack cans or plastic cups and use those to knock down as skittles. Lots of different fun ways to just use the same concept of that knock them down. Kids love to knock things down, build them up and knock them down, and we can use so much language built around it. I hope our recommendation for a top toy for toddler talking, Skittles, has been useful for you today. If you want to think about some of those vocabulary words we talked about, have a look at our free vocabulary download that's in our blog, which will be great to print out, pop it on the fridge, and you can use it when you're playing with Skittles, or in fact other activities. I'm sure you can use those words in other activities as well. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that's been useful. I'm Dr. Sandra McMahon, speech language pathologist that works with children to encourage speech, language and literacy. Please take a look at our blogs. We've got heaps of information on there. Or ask us if you would like to have a question that you'd like us to talk about. Always feel free to contact us through our Facebook page or our web, and we're happy to help you out. Take care. Bye. Take a look at our parent online program. You can download it and use it immediately. It's called Focus on Toddler Talk. It'll take you through online checklists and information slides that will let you observe your child's speech levels as well as the level of speech that you are using. And this way you can match your input to exactly what your child needs. And this is how speech and language grows.